The indelicate grasp of the Roman Empire grows stronger and reaches farther with each passing day. Even the deadly political power struggles of Rome have reached our land. With the recent assassination of Pompey on the shores of Egypt, Julius Caesar now has complete control of Rome's mighty legions and has cast his eyes upon the riches of Egypt and upon the beauty of our beguiling Pharaoh, Cleopatra VII, daughter of Ptolemy XII, Auletes. Our clever leader is not easily outdone on the battlefield of wits, however. If Caesar desires to use her as a means to further Rome's influence in Egypt, so too does she plan to employ him as an instrument of maintaining the dynastic power of our great land. Caesar's arrival in Alexandria with his unpopular Romans has sparked an uprising among its independent-minded citizens. An unruly mob, egged on by Cleopatra's younger brother Ptolemy XIII, has cornered Caesar and his men in the royal quarter of the city. Bitter street fighting has erupted, claiming many casualties. In a bid to keep his seaward escape route open, Caesar burned the Egyptian fleet as it lay at anchor in Alexandria's harbor. Unfortunately, the conflagration spread to some shoreline warehouses, burning great quantities of papyrus scrolls belonging to the great library. To break the trap in which he now finds himself, Caesar has summoned the loyal Mithridates and his troops from Syria to effect his rescue. After successfully storming the border fortress of Migdol, Mithridates has force-marched his men around the apex of the Nile Delta, so to approach Alexandria from the southeast. The lead elements of his force are currently encamped on the outskirts of the small village of Maritis, on the eastern shore of Lake Mariut, preparing for the final leg of their journey. The baleful Ptolemy XIII has learned of the approach of these reinforcements. In response, he has marched the bulk of his more numerous army southeastward out of Alexandria. A decisive battle on the eastern shore of Lake Mariut is about to ensue. Can you, commanding Mithridates' Roman legions, defeat Ptolemy's rebellious Egyptian army and break through to Caesar and Cleopatra in Alexandria? Their fate rests in your hands.
Indeed, their fate does rest in our hands. Hey guys, welcome back to Land of the Pharaohs. I'm Sajuuk and we're heading into Maritis, Caesar and Cleopatra. And here's where the game starts to bring in some of the Caesar-free elements. We are playing the Romans on this mission. Right here, can you, commanding Mithridates' Roman legions, defeat Ptolemy's rebellious Egyptian army? So we are playing as the Romans. Now this is a feature that Cleopatra added. Previously you could only set up missions where you were Egypt, like a custom mission. You could only set up a mission where you are playing as Egypt and fighting against an enemy. With Cleopatra, they managed to set up an ability where you could play as an enemy and fight Egypt or fight someone else. So on this mission, we're going to be playing as the Romans, trying to, I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to be fighting as the Romans. And given that these requirements are so low, these are just to make sure we have something standing and we don't win by destruction. But we are going to have to fight Egyptian troops. We know that they're very powerful, but we don't know how strong the Roman troops in this mission are going to be. We're going to be continuing on hard mode. Let's head to the city. I'm going to pause immediately. Now, the reason for that is look at the top here. I don't know if you can read that on YouTube, but it says months until victory, 48 months. Now, I believe, from what I've read up on the internet about this particular mission, the mission actually starts with 7 years. Yes, see how it says here 37 months. So that was how long ago it was when the mission was started, because there's no Fessel Square here. So if we add 48 to 37, we get about 75, so say 76. So the game started with 76 months on this mission, but the developer has spent 3 years doing this. So we have here javelins, which are archers, and 2 sets of infantry companies, and they are exactly like Romans, and you can train them as Romans. Now on this map we have very little in the way of space, it's just a bit of coastline here. This is all you need, you don't need any more than this. Notice this shipwright, it has 200 planks of wood already in it, but we've not imported any. This is a clue, there is going to be a troop request involving transport ships. There is quite a bit of floodplain, there's also a bit of reeds all over the map. Not many because they're quite spread out, but we are going to be exporting papyrus. We can't go very high because our highest level of entertainment is just 1 entertainment building. Now, we start with just a little bit over 2,900 demons. Let's have a look at our trade routes. We're here at Maritis. this icon tells you immediately you're being attacked. So in a month, we are going to be attacked. And there's going to be a large invasion. And there's another one after it about the same size, which we may struggle on, but it won't be a problem. So we're here at Maritis and we are playing as Mithridates. He stormed through Migdol and all this, so we are playing as this dude trying to fight off Alexandria. So our trade is pretty much confined to 4 cities. Tyre sells linen, incense and copper, nothing that we really require. They do buy pottery papyrus. Now I'm not going to sell them papyrus because we don't need to. We can import a small amount of weapons from Migdol, pardon me, and sell papyrus. Manifair doesn't do anything, and neither does Meidum. Now let's just have a look at the pardon me folks. So we can import weapons for 180, so it doesn't cost as much. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry. I've been doing a lot of recording on the day of the recording this. I've done 2 other recordings, I've just talked a lot as well. So importing weapons is not very expensive, so we're not going to import copper to turn into weapons. It's too expensive, we can just import the weapons straight. Now, here's a little bit of a clue. For those who pay attention to the kind of things that you need to evolve your housing, you can see here we've only got a booth and a juggler school, that's 1 entertainment. Now, on any difficulty level other than very easy, to get above ordinary cottage requires 2 types of entertainment. So there is no point evolving above an ordinary cottage on this mission, and you don't need to build more than this, just a few extra houses and some evolution, and this will reach 1,000 people. So we need to basically evolve these up to ordinary cottage, and we're not going to provide pottery. We can import it, but there are some requests that might gift us pottery, and we're going to export it because it serves no purpose to us. I'm just going to set this to accept weapons and pottery. And I've got 2 bazaars here, but I'm going to get rid of both of them. What's our unemployment like here? 170 people, that is 54% unemployment, that's quite high. So what I'm going to do, and our gods are, we've got no festival square, so shrines and temples are to Ra and Ptah, so we've got 2 gods, and Ptah's the patron god here. So we'll set up a couple of extra shrines here and there, I think. Don't think we need to do that right now because we have enough there. So I could possibly turn this into a little bit of a loop here, but I'll think about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some tweaks to this city, and we're going to spend all the money that we've got. In fact, we're going to just turn tax rate down to 0. Because we're not going to be taxing, it's not worth it for the level of housing on this map. I'm going to set up some additional industries, start to work on exports. Which effectively is going to be papyrus. And that will pay for weapon imports because it's only 165 to sell papyrus, 180 to import weapons, so that'll pay for itself basically. And I do know that we're going to be attacked, so I'm not even going to tell you, I'm not even going to show the attack message. I'll just come back in before the invasion because there's going to be an invasion literally at the end of the next month. So, we've got the city planned out, so I don't need to go and do any planning, but I just need to set up my export industry. I'll come back in once I've done it. Okay, so this is what I'm going with. Now, I've got the game paused simply because the time's going to run away with me and then I'll not be able to fight off this invasion. Now, we started with 2,902 demons, or thereabouts. We've now spent pretty much all of it. We're going to go into debt, whether we like it or not, but we are going to get some rescue funds, I believe. Now, I've also changed this road about, so this is going to go up here and just past these houses right here. I've also put in a couple of extra chickpea farms, and we're just going to feed everyone chickpeas. We don't need a lot of people, so we don't need a huge overproduction. We're going to just have this one fishing boat stockpiling fish right here, which is fine. In fact, let's just set this to accept fish and pottery, just in case. Let's actually just do half and half, or 3/4 and a quarter, and 3/4 and a quarter, or thereabouts. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to feed the people, so we'll just do that. So we set up this little area here, which is going to be for our papyrus industry. Now, we don't really need a lot of papyrus, so I think that should be enough, but I will leave space just in case I need it. Now, we are going to go into debt by building this road, like that, so that's into a bit of debt. Out of money. We've got 1,500 demons in rescue funds, which is good, and that allows us to at least set up this. Now, we don't have much time to meet this prosperity rating. Now, I will get it taken down by all of these coming online, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Once these guys pass some housing, they should be fine. I'll have to sort of do a bit of gardening and statues in the centre here. I think I can do... yeah, I can do a... Let's just do a tall one and a tall one. There. Now that should give you all the desirability you need to get up to the next level, and you will go up to at least ordinary cottage. I've got you set to buying only chickpeas because we don't need to use fish because chickpeas are superior. And there's not enough space to put down any more fishing boats. I mean, I could put one there, there and there, but there's so little coastline that there's no point doing that. So this is a fishing village that can't fish because we don't have the coastline. So once this gets access to stuff, which it will by just walking around here, which will be fine, we should be fine. Now I am going to be doing a shit ton of micromanagement with these troops because the Egyptians are really strong. Now, given that this is supposed to be the south here, it is obvious that the attacks are going to come from the north. They're not going to come from anywhere else because that's like Alexandria over there. And these assets will get in the way, but if I can move if I can get them out, I can probably. So I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to say a lot of things because I've got a little time. I will try to box them in with statues like I did with these guys over here. Just helps allowing them to harvest as many reeds as they can. There's quite a lot of reeds, but they are spread out. In fact, let's just clear these. Oh, that's the animal breeding ground here, okay. There. Now, we're not going to get any special events on this, so we shouldn't need to worry about that. Michdol costs only 190, so that will pay for itself once that's running. Let's just save right now, because this is going to take... If I get it wrong, then I have to restart, because there's no way I'll be able to get out of this. This mission's too short. So there you go. We're a village noble, apparently. It's a really low level, but an Egyptian army is approaching the borders and will reach the city in a month. And we've got only 3 sets of troops to do that with. So let's just move everyone out. These are academy trained, which actually helps. Giving us a bit of help, at least, these guys. Now, I am going to have to do a lot of micromanagement, because we know that the enemy Egyptians are very strong. We don't want them killing us, essentially. I'm going to put down a secondary gatherer just to make sure everything's taken down quite nicely. We have got rid of most of that unemployment. These farms will come online and that will help as well in taking that down. Of course, these houses are evolving, which will also help. Now, the next harvest will come in April. We'll get at least something from this. At least I hope so. So these farms will come online and then they will make use. So, all we have to do now is stabilise our housing, which it should be. They've got a mixture of food. Somehow they have got access to meat and grain. I think the developer must have imported those food types to quickly get the city going to set up these things. So we'll stockpile fish. We don't have a use for that. We will get the food moving in, which will be good. Too little entertainment, it's not a problem. We can just put down another booth somewhere in the city, I think. Not too sure where, but I will find a location to put this booth. Maybe I'll move the juggler school. In fact, let's just do that. I'm going to move the juggler here, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to put down a second booth, even though it's going to make no effect. Anyway, we've got an invasion in force of Egyptian troops upon us. Let's try to fight through them. Okay, so I think I just about got through that battle. Now, it did require a lot of micro to try and get rid of the archers first. Other than that, we survived, so I didn't take too many losses. Let's just... Come on, please go back to base before you get killed. Because that's not really helpful if you're getting killed, because then you just demoralize everyone else. Okay, you did lose some people, but... I'm not too sure if we can retrain our troops that quickly. Let's just go back to base. Now, during that, we've got requests outstanding to Medium. They want 1100 reeds, so I am stockpiling that. Unfortunately, we don't have any way of retraining these troops, and we don't have money, which doesn't help. Let's just open up this trade to Michdol and just export the little papyrus that we have managed to produce. They should produce another 200, so that's at least something. Now, we didn't lose any archers. We lost half of our troop in... Yeah, basically an equivalent of one full company across 2 forts. Now that was the first attack, and we've got another attack incoming during that battle. We got told another one's approaching in 6 months. Now hopefully the morale will recover sufficiently that we can just use them, but I suspect I may have to spam out police stations in the hope that that will actually do something. What's the unemployment, like 23%? Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for Michdol to buy up the papyrus, and once I've done that I'll put down 2 transport ships right here. And then I can get rid of this shipwright, which is just a waste of workers, because I'm not going to use it for anything else. Yeah, so that'll be another 100 papyrus. That's 700 papyrus I'll be able to sell. That's actually going to be quite good. Now, I'm not too sure if this will afford a weapons import. I might be able to import a couple of weapons by import, and that'll allow me to retrain some of them. Though I think if I remember correctly, Michdol will give us some weapons themselves, so that's not a problem. Unemployment's quite high, we can't really get rid of it, but once Michdol buys up the weapons, I think that should be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this running, and I'm going to come back in once we're near the next invasion. Unless that request is about to be fulfilled. Okay, we're going to be attacked by that second Egyptian army in 1 month. And I've just gone into debt because I've just spammed out a whole bunch of police stations because I don't think my troops will be able to survive. Which is going to be annoying because of the fact that policemen are very weak. Now, we still have this outstanding request to Thingy, Medum. Another couple of 100 reeds and we should get it, and they should be able to go and do that. There's enough reeds around here that I think they should be able to do it. Unfortunately, our troops have only just started to recover, and we don't really have a way of replacing them. And the income source I would normally have is effectively gone in the fact that I can't make papyrus while I've got an outstanding request for reeds. So these will come back and I'll produce another 200. So that's 800, 900 will be stockpiled. So these next 2 will allow us to at least start making papyrus again, which is helped to get us out of debt, which is good. This is going to go up in time, don't worry. There's nothing I can really do about that right now. So I'm going to just have to hope my army of policemen can actually succeed, because if they can't, I'm screwed, essentially. Come on, where's the next cart pusher? Come on. 5 months to comply. I want you to just give me another 100 reeds. Oh, it's coming from the same person. Okay, good. Right, now, let's just put our troops out into position. I know they're quite battered and all, but... You know what? Let's just take you because you've got more morale. Right, okay. There, we're going to set off those reeds right now. And we're going to stop the stockpile of the reeds. And we're just going to start making papyrus again. Which will get us out of debt, hopefully by the end of the year. We'll only manage to make 700 papyrus. Not too good. Yeah, I'm not too sure what I should do, because I can't really do very much else other than kite them all over the map. Anyway, here's the second and final attack of this mission. Let's see if we can get through it, and hope that we don't get killed by these Egyptians. Okay, so I'm still fighting these guys, but now I'm being asked to send troops to Alexandria in 10 months. I'm not really sure this is going to work while I'm being attacked. It's kind of a bit difficult because of the fact that my infantry forces were basically wiped out. Doesn't help. I'm still trying to get my police to, like, you know, do something. And of course, the police are so weak that this really isn't working, to be honest. So let's just see if I can just fight a few more off. If I can get rid of a few, then they might leave. And they're still not leaving, which is not helpful. Now they're finally leaving. Okay. They're finally leaving. Now what I'm going to do is we've got unemployment. Well, not got unemployment, obviously. We've got money. Now I'm going to let I got some free weapons out of Michdol. So I'm going to use them to trade up some of this fort here because they were lost. And I'll wait for these archers to recover their health just a little bit. And then I will send them off just at the last minute to go and help Alexandria. And I'm pretty sure that this will cancel out all the attacks. And if we fail this request, I do know that if you fail this request for troops, you can't win the mission. And I'm running out of time in order to win. I've got to make money this year, otherwise it is a loss. I will have to reload and just battle through the mission again, which will be very annoying. So we'll recover our infantry as best as we can. I think we'll have 11 infantrymen and some archers that will be recovered to better health. And we should be fine. And we also got some pottery as well from somewhere. I'm going to just set this to accept half and empty out all of this pottery because we don't really need it and it's just sort of getting in the way. And I'll open up the tribute to tire and sell it. But once I've got a bit more money, I'll do that. So yeah, I'll just come back in when we're about to send the troops off to Alexandria. Okay, so we're about to send the troops off to Alexandria. I'm just moving them over here. Now, I have cut back on some of the police stations and just replaced them with some work camps because it's a much more cost-effective way of getting money. We've also opened up the treasury to Tyre. They're going to buy up all this pottery and make us a bunch of cash, which is going to be very useful. And we'll just send you to embark. And you can go and embark too. Get close to the waterfront, please. Right, move you out of the way. Get you down here, because you don't seem to want to embark on this boat for some reason. Come on. There. Okay, we've got them on the boat. And we're going to send them off to Alexandria with some at least decent health. Even the archers have actually increased their veterancy, which is actually very useful. They'll go off. We'll sell off all this pottery, which should just be within the year. That's a bunch of money. You've only bought 800. That's weird. You should have bought another 300, but never mind. You'll go and buy off all that. So that's us into the next year with profit. So our prosperity rating is rising. So as long as we can keep making money and not spend too much, we should be able to hit this target, and it's just a close to victory. And it could have gone wrong, but I think we're just about to hold it together. But I'm going to let the prosperity just go up, and then I can just put in a couple of work camps at the end, just to be absolutely sure. Or they're going to go and buy some papyrus, which is even better. Right, I'll come back in once the troop request has completed. Okay, they did it. The troops are back. And these guys are not too bad. We only lost one person there. And our archers are coming in by here. So that's fine. I'm just trying to get unemployment under control, which will help to raise our prosperity rating. If this is too high, it's just going to go and kill it. Given that we don't really have many ways of controlling unemployment in this city, I am just putting down work camps. It's a fairly cost-effective solution, to be honest, than trying to do anything else. And I can just take down some of this police crap, because we don't need that. And you survived as well with only a couple of losses. That's perfect. Now, what was that? I just skipped a message. Employees needed. That's not a problem. In fact, employees needed is perfect, because then I can just, delete a work camp. And it's fine. And then we're back to some unemployment. So this should keep going up until the end of the year. And as long as we don't spend too much money and we just keep exporting, we should be fine. So this could have gone wrong. Our kingdom rating's up. We're just going to keep this up. See there, it's at 50. So we don't need to worry about dropping to 35 unless we just stay in horror debt. So I'm just going to speed on to victory, and I'll come back in if anything of importance happens. Okay, this is a little bit of a pain in the neck. We need to send some papyrus over to Alexandria. We don't have any, and by ceasing exports of that, we are going to basically have problems with income. But I think we should be able to make enough papyrus from the reeds on this map. No one's going over to tap there, probably because it was asps, but that's not a problem. This is going up. It's reached 19, and it's not even the end of the year yet, but I do have to strike a balance here. I don't want this to plummet at the last minute because I will fail, and it will be a real problem. We're not going to try and retrain our troops, and this should be enough. These will, I will just say this right now, the troops you have left at the end of this mission will carry over into the next one, but they will be Egyptian. It's a weird mechanic, but yeah. So yeah, I'll stop all that papyrus, send it off, and I'll come back in if anything else of importance happens. Okay, so we managed to send the papyrus over to Alexandria. They're going to give us some pottery. That can be exported over to Tyre, which will give us a bit more profit. We have just about met the prosperity target on this one, but I'm going to just put down another work camp just to be absolutely certain, because our unemployment is just climbing up a little bit. I don't want that to go out of control too much. We'll just speed this up. Come on. There, that's under control now. That's good. So prosperity's there. I'm not going to try and raise this any higher. There's no real point. I could just put down more houses, but we don't need to do that. We've got money, and all I have to do is coast to victory with a win. And I'm just going to take a final save right here. In fact, let's just do a separate save. And just speed on to victory, because there's nothing else to do. There's not going to be any more attacks. And I think we should be fine. And Tyre wants fish. Good thing I stockpiled that. Because then that could just... I mean, it doesn't take too long to get the fish, so it's not too much of a problem. Prosperity's there. Perfect. Now, let's just check unemployment. It's not going too far. Let's just delete that police station. That'll just save us some workers. Don't want an employment issue, because labour shortages will reduce prosperity, so I don't want that. I don't think we should have any trouble meeting the money target, so let's just speed on to victory. At this point, because that's all we've got. Some luxury goods, we can just sell that very cheaply to Men-Nefer for 90 demons. Just call it buy the luxury goods, because there's nothing left. Oh shit, the unemployment's getting a little out of control. We better put down this work camp just to keep it under control. Why do our employees need it now? Is it because of aging or something? But I will just delete police stations just to keep this under control. If this plummets, we're fucked, but I don't think it will now. Let's just say. So this is basically the town. This town that you get at the start, you don't need to do too much of it, and just add a little area for papyrus production, expand on your chickpea production, and an area for your docks. Don't worry about trying to get too much papyrus. That's not the key here. And of course, those luxury goods just at the end there will be enough to tide you over. Pottery, don't distribute it. If you distribute the pottery, it's a waste and it's going to do nothing. I mean, these houses, if we right click them, they're still complaining about too little entertainment. And that's with a booth. So it's obvious that trying to provide pottery is not necessary. So make sure that you go around to your bazaar, delete the one that's down here, just replace it with this one here, and keep that one there rather. And just make sure that the only thing that it buys is chickpeas. Okay, because that's the only thing you need. You don't need to provide them fish. The fish is literally for that Tyre request towards the end of the mission. Let's speed on to victory. Keep their ratings in check. They are good. We're going to win. And just a little bit of papyrus sales is all you need to win this mission. You don't need excessive papyrus exports, but a little bit will keep you in the black. And that's all you need. You just need to make a little bit of money, a little bit of profit, and you will win the mission on the prosperity target. But that start is hectic. It actually sounds like an impossible mission, but it's not. It's just barely winnable. Okay? And that was on hard. On very hard, I would suggest that this is almost impossible to win. But we are going to proceed because we are beating back Ptolemy the 13th's troops at Maritis.
Your mighty legions have crushed Ptolemy the 13th's rabble. His drowned body was dredged from the Nile as proof of his death. The siege has been lifted, and Cleopatra is now secure on her throne. To celebrate the victory and further cement their relationship, Caesar and Cleopatra are now embarked on a journey up the Nile aboard the luxurious royal barge.
Well, good for them, because it's thanks to me as Mithridates' loyal troops that we managed to push back Ptolemy the 13th's rabble, and we have secured Cleopatra on the throne, which is perfect. So that was Maritis, a very difficult military mission with very limited time available. You've only got basically the first year to get your profit making industries up. If you can't get it up in the first year, you have to restart. Effectively. Because you have to make a profit between month 36 and month 24. If you're making it in the last month, the last 24 to 12, it's very difficult to win. So yeah, that was Maritis. Thanks for watching me on this video. If you want to enter the next mission, which is Cleopatra's Alexandria, click the card on the screen and it'll take you there. But for me, Sajuuk, it's going to be that for Maritis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye now.